So all the stats that I will be talking about are from the KOA 8 Global Finals, the last 4 days of the playoff stage. Survivors that were banned by Hullabaloo, we do see First Officer was the most banned, then Seer, Mechanic. So these are the 3 most banned survivors by Hullabaloo in tournament setting. Aeroplanist, Antiquarian, Explorer, and Priestess around the middle, so they do alternate between these for the 3rd or 4th bans. And it does look like Priestess is very map dependent, so that's the reason it's not banned as much. Explorer, you want to stop Cypher Rush, but their main ban is Mechanic, so it does seem like Mechanic is much more useful. Explorer, if you're caught early and you're unable to hide, it's a very high risk, high reward character. And Antiquarian, obviously you don't like getting stunned, but you can work around it. That's why the survivor that is banned the most is going to be the First Officer. It's going to be hard to land the color bombs on a First Officer if you can't see his main image and you have to keep going after his after image. Seer, you have to take multiple hits. He could get a possible 2-3 owls, so right. And Mechanic is very versatile character, so those are the most banned survivors. Okay, survivors that are picked to go against Hullabaloo. We do see Aeroplanist is the first, because Aeroplanist can also counter Goatman, so is a very versatile character. He can go and counter both hunters in case the hunter doesn't end up being a Hullabaloo. So Aeroplanist is picked the most, and Gravekeeper obviously to go against Hullabaloo. He is the first rescuer. He can make it to the chair, most likely in full health, and then he'll get damage, get the rescue, hopefully avoid the double down situation. So very strong character to go against Hullabaloo. On 7th we have Puppeteer, most likely because Seer is banned the most. The next survivor that can tank a lot of hits is going to be Puppeteer. Puppeteer is chosen the most, and in 3rd, 4th-ish place is Embalmer. Survivors choose Embalmer not to win, but to at least try and ensure there's a 1-man or 2-man rescue. They're going to take the kite, they're going to rescue themselves and just buy so much time. In the past, we did see that Embalmer used to spawn his coffin in a different area, and he would kite all the way across the map and resurrect himself at his coffin. But lately we've been seeing that Embalmer just contains this hunter in one area. He coffins himself and just resurrects himself right next to the hunter just to buy more time for the survivors to decode. If the coffin is in a very far away area, Hunter can also utilize Abnormal, so that if he's on his way, he sees a Cypher machine, he could just Abnormal it and then just wait for the Embalmer to resurrect and then down the Embalmer. So Embalmer is chosen a lot as a containment survivor. I guess that's the way you can kind of explain it. Then we have Antiquarian. Obviously she's a stunner, she can buy lots of time, she can kite. And we have the Knight, who is also picked also for rescuers, so you could try to utilize the helmet to protect the hunter's abilities or attack or stalemate. And you can also save with the shield, so that gives another possible chance for survivors to rebound kite. And then 3rd round, 4th round picks are going to be Psychologist, Female Dancer, Fire Investigator. Not very strong. Psychologist is good that she can heal survivors from a long distance, but she doesn't have much of a kiting ability. She can't kite for very long. Female Dancer is very good, but after she runs out of the musical boxes, she's not as... So Female Dancer utilizes her music boxes, but if the hunter destroys all of her music boxes or she has to kite away from her music boxes, she doesn't have any traits that can last or be as useful as the survivors mentioned above. And there's a few other 3rd round, 4th round picks for survivors to try and go against Hullabaloo. And we do see Seer is, if Seer is not banned, Seer's picked, but Seer's banned most of the time, so he's usually not picked, and that's why Seer is so low in this list. Hullabaloo hunter traits. He always carries Trump card and Insolence without a doubt, and he never ever carries Detention. And his 3rd trait is always a little bit of a mix, but we do see Peepers were chosen the most, then Abnormal, Excitement, and Warp. So Warp not as much. We don't see it ever holding Teleport, although sometimes they do. So within the color wheel, each of the colors gives a specific debuff to the survivors. If the survivors remain inside that color for 0.3 seconds, they will get different debuffs. In the red zone, survivors can't use their items or their abilities. In the white zone, survivors' vaulting speed is reduced by 15%. coding speed and gate opening speed are reduced by 30%. If the survivors are in the black zone, survivors' movement speed is reduced by 15%. And even after leaving, debuff will continue for 0.5 seconds. So his other external trait is Joyful Terror. So that's when he lands the color bombs onto the survivors, it lasts up to 40 seconds. However, if he applies another bomb, the countdown resets, so for both bombs to disappear, the survivor has to wait another 40 seconds. So Hullabaloo does not have hit recovery, but his movement speed will be reduced by 70%. However, he will still be chasing you with that 30%. So at 0 presence, the hunter has the ability to set up clones that are 32 meters away. If the hunter swings, then the clone will also swing with it, so he'll mirror the hunter's attack. The position of the clone can be changed once while the ability is active, and it lasts for up to 10 seconds. The cooldown is 14 seconds. And another thing to note is his cooldown for rotating his color wheel is 18 seconds. So 14 seconds for the clone and 18 seconds for the color wheel rotation. So all the information I shared to you about Hullabaloo is after the nerf. So it is going to be different from the tournament stats, tournament traits. For example, the cooldown trait of his clone is 12 seconds inside of the tournament, but right now it's at 14 seconds, so keep that in mind. So in the beginning of the game, the hunter's traits are he can utilize the clone to find the general direction of the survivor. He can use it one more time to change the location of the clone, and he's going to try and pinpoint the survivor is able to run into the survivor. And remember, he has insolence, so presence is slowly building up even though he hasn't gotten a hit onto this embalmer yet. He's going to set up the clones in the area he knows the survivor is going to go through. So right in front of that portal, now he already has a black bomb on him. Another clone near the pallet so that he could sandwich him and get even more colored bombs onto the survivor. Now he just needs to get the white colored bomb, but his clone is on cooldown because he used it in front of the portal and then he used it once again at the pallet. He's just going to get the hit normally with his main body as he catches up. Okay, first presence. Now he has the ability Trapeze, which is sprinting forward for a short distance, and upon hitting a survivor and an obstacle, he vaults over very quickly. It can get charged up to 2 times, and it has 19-second recharge cooldowns. So during the tournament, we can see that Hullabaloo had 3 trapeze charges. Now it's been reduced to 2. So he's setting up his clone on the window. He's going to get a double hit of double color bomb onto the embalmer, and he's going to be able to down this embalmer immediately. I guess he could have maybe baited the window and made the hunter use the clone for the window, but then he needs to avoid getting hit by the clone the second time because he can change the location of this clone. So not a lot of options for this embalmer, and embalmer is just going to resurrect himself next to this hunter because their survivors are just containing the hunter at one spot, so the hunter does not go for the cipher machines. At full presence, it's Joyful Terror, but advanced version. After survivors take fright mark damage, they're afflicted with the most recently applied fright mark again. So that means if the survivor has a white bomb and a black bomb on him, gets the damage with the red bomb, that means he will start with the red bomb already on the survivor, and the hunter only needs to place 2 more colored bombs on him to down the survivor. And that is why Hullabaloo bring insolence. He needs that ability to down survivors faster. And if you already have a colored bomb after you get damaged, it's much easier. You only have to aim for 2 more bombs. So we see Gravekeeper coming as the first rescuer a lot of the times because he can take an extra hit without getting any injury. He's making his way to the chair in his shovel. He's able to make and get the save with Tight Turner. Is able to get the hit, and because he has full presence, as you can see, he injured the Gravekeeper with the red bomb, and as soon as he was injured, the red bomb appeared once again onto the Gravekeeper, and then the hunter just got the black bomb onto this Gravekeeper. So Priestess brings the embalmer all the way to the world portal. Hunter's going to injure this embalmer. He's still quite far away from the survivors. He has 3 trapezes. He's going to use his first one, second one, Third one, he's already near the embalmer and the priestess isn't able to heal him up. So that's how effective and fast Hunter is when he's going around the map. And that's why it was also nerfed. Priestess does a great kite. Now she's trying to transition. She's out in the open. She only has one color ball and she has enough distance away from this Hunter. Hunter predicts she's going to go towards that pallet because where else can she go? So he sets up a clone out in the open, trapezes to her, sandwiches her, and gets the damage on her right away. Double bomb. Hunter already used his clone once. He can relocate it one more time. Where is he going to place it? He's going to be patient. He's going to wait till the main body is close enough to the priestess. Then he's going to set up his clone to get another double bomb on her, and he will be able to down her right away. It's a Gravekeeper. He's in his shovel. He's going to stay under this pallet this entire time. Hunter's going to have to force him out by hitting him out of his shovel. So he's going to sandwich him in between his clone and go back and forth, is able to finally hit him out of the shovel. Now there's nowhere for this Gravekeeper to go after he's taken out of the shovel. He goes back to the pallet. The clone's waiting for him. So he has to leave and he goes to this awkward corner trying to do the wall trick. But the Hunter does have the color wheel rotation abilities back up, so he can just down this Gravekeeper right away. Hunter needs to down this Puppeteer quickly. Puppeteer just needs to last till the Gravekeeper expires, then he can get dungeon. Hunter is going to sandwich him between this pallet. He has to leave because the clone isn't going to leave, so he has to go to this double pallet next door and is going to be throwing down both these pallets so he can utilize in the future. He's in his puppet ability. He has the black and red bomb on him. Hunter's using trapeze and he just needs to stay alive in between these two pallets. Is starting to head towards this one pallet because the Gravekeeper has returned to the manor. Hunter is able to snipe him out here in the open and is able to get that 4-man elimination. So what I've heard is the nerfs really hurt Hullabaloo a lot. So we'll see how well he does during IGL. We'll be able to see the differences, and this is the end of this video. I hope you liked it.